Okay, Tammy, I have 7:02. We'll call the meeting to order. Did everyone have a chance to review the previous minutes?
Yes,
Is there any changes or corrections that need to be made?
Well, I didn't change that.
you didn't change the,
Is your mic on, Tammy?
no. I'll bet no.
I didn't change. Remember you wanted me to change can get into the foundation?
Yeah, I forget what I wanted to remove it or change it to though. But you haven't made that change
I
yet?
haven't made that change yet.
You give us a heads up as to what you're talking about here.
Let me try to remember. I
Bob,
sent it to
Bob
an email.
Goudreau.
Oh, right. So we were saying that in the minutes for the last meeting, we had mentioned with Bob who came by.
Yep.
About the wall and the rats getting into his house. I said, we need to change it from it seems like they were in his house to could get in his house. Because I don't believe he said that they were in his house. That's all.
Did not, I
Right.
agree.
Yeah, so I said, what I said to Tammy was we just need to change one word to could.
Now it's not.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Well, okay.
That was my only change to the last minute.
Any other others?
Thank you. Motion to accept, Mr. Chairman, the
I will
previous minutes.
second that motion.
Motion's been made by Brenda, seconded by Lance. All those in favor of approving or accepting the previous minutes as altered, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Vote passes 4-0. Finances. Honestly, Maria, do you want to wait? Because the finance is basically the second, the biggest portion of this meeting. So we'll bounce through some of the other stuff real quick and then as we're building the budget, you can weigh in there as far as.
And we'll keep you here as long as we can.
Actually, quite
Yeah.
honestly, I was pretty impressed with how well the road went last meeting. It wasn't terrible as far as compared to others I've been here for.
I know.
All right. So visitors, we do not have any on the list and there are none in the building. Linda,
None in the building?
do you have any comments on Facebook or are you simply spectating today?
Soon.
Sorry, Zoom, not Facebook.
I am a spectator.
Excellent. Thank you for being here. Road report.
No, I sometimes get told I can't get heard. Truck number 1 is back.
I was gonna say, I was on my way home Friday,
When you saw truck number 3 going down on a hook,
truck number 3 on the hook heading.
backed it out of the garage to work on a loader, went to start it, shut down.
Nothing there.
Well, it started and then stopped and started and stopped and called him up and he says, well, we're gonna have to hook it down here, which we got towing anyway. So, and then Mark said, well, did you hit the kill switch, the disconnect? He went out and hit the disconnect and it started, but the little red light was still on. So they were supposed to let me know about that one today, but number 1 was down there for a leaky seal on the front end that they just did, which was warranted, and a ABS light, which is supposed to be warranted that they just did. So we missed out on truck number 1 and 3 for this last little storm. So Dan was active from 2 o'clock till 12:30 this
Okay.
morning.
Will we have the truck for this?
I believe
projected
so.
Storm Thursday
I-
or Friday?
He said he looked at diagnostics and he said he didn't see anything stuck out. So it's probably just some simple little thing.
Glitch.
It looked like it might have been the transmission not talking to the computer or whatever, which
They do that. They
Yeah.
all do that. Okay.
but you have a thing to sign somewhere
Or
from,
FEMA. That one?
no,
Warrant.
regional planning, I believe it is,
Okay.
for $8,000 for the road inventory that they did.
Okay.
Which was a grant, which will get reimbursed after a while. We did get the reimbursement for the hydro seeder.
Okay.
That went into back into the equipment fund or new equipment fund, so.
Excellent.
I've got, Maria gave me the canceled check today from Pike, so I can get to working on that one now, since it's been paid and get reimbursed for that, so. Other than that, hopefully we don't have any more freeze thaws to make the roads nice and smooth anymore.
Okay. But I'll put it out there on Facebook. Why am I
Facebook.
stuck on Facebook? Zoom, on Zoom, that, last week. Let me pull up the exact dates here, just so I don't misspeak. Last Thursday. Actually Tuesday. But last Tuesday, I received an email from the town of Johnson. Stating that their 2010 John Deere grader model 770G was up for bid. Received that December 1st. Bids were due December 5th. We did not have December 5th being a Monday. We did not have adequate time to call an emergency meeting to discuss that, so it was done on the phone. And document of that will be recorded as minutes. The select board decided to submit a bid for the grader for $120,000. Starting bids were 110. Estimated value, trade-in value was 125, 130, I believe, something like that. We agreed on a bid of 120, submitted it, and I just received confirmation today at 2:17 that we actually won the bid. So part of our warrants tonight is transferring money from the new equipment fund to the road account to purchase the grader for the town of Bakersfield. Yeah, so it's the machine. Well, there's a couple benefits. It's a machine that's significantly larger than the one we have. Which will help with the grading, ease of the grading. It's what, ours is a 92,
90.
90.
I think
So-
I think that's a 2012. If I'm not mistaken.
2010 in there.
I know you said it, but I think all along he's been telling us it's 12, but either way, it's quite a bit more.
Yeah, it's significantly newer, 30 to 32, depending on the actual model.
Yeah.
And that, with the price of the wing to put on it, we were gonna be under 150,000 total, which is a third the price of the new graders that we were been looking at.
Right.
So
The other-
I think this is a great thing for the town and
Saved a lot of money.
saved a lot of money. I would still like to, Brenda, I know that as the person in charge of ARPA, we would still like to look into this being covered under ARPA. I think it meets all the criteria. And by it only being 150,000 as opposed to the 450,000 that we were looking at before, it frees up some other monies for other projects in town and around town. Also opens up, makes it a lot easier to buy the tractor with the brush mower that we were discussing.
Mhm.
So I think all in all, this is a great thing for the town and hopefully we'll see it here in the next week or so. It'll be great.
Yep.
Anything else anybody wanted to add on that? No. Any others on roads? Nothing, John? No. Gary, I know you just got here, but do you have anything on roads? No. Okay. All right,
We did some new FEMA had some questions and then we submitted those and they were accepted, no problem. So FEMA applications are proceeding fairly smoothly,
As smooth as they can.
as smooth as they
As soon as
can.
they can. All the paperwork is supposed to be in by the 15th, except for the Cat Z.
Yeah.
And she sent me, the last thing was Friday afternoon. She sent me a thing saying she needed 4 canceled checks on the 9th, which was Friday. But of course, with the town clerk not being on Friday and Maria not being on Friday, Maria pulled them for me this morning. I sent them right off to her, told her I did it. She acknowledged and said, no problem. So hopefully those are the last 4 things she needs
Excellent.
or somebody needs,
Good.
but I wouldn't hold my breath to it.
We're drawing to a close on that. Well,
We're
forward progress.
narrowing it down. Yeah.
Should be good within the next year.
Yeah.
That'll only make it a 5-year project now.
Right.
It'd be pretty close.
All right. Thank you. Might as well hop right into the budget. Now, if you want to take the hot seat, you can. Terry, just to, you probably didn't hear, we won the bid on the grader. I just found out today at 2:20-ish. Apparently they're
120.
2:20.
Hmm?
2:17
270,
exactly.
I'm sorry.
Apparently their town administrator, let's see, go by. Yeah, town administrator got the flu and wasn't able to send out notification last week. So he sent it out today. Transfers of funds and payment through the town, through the road budget for now. Hopefully to be reimbursed through our.
Right.
Great job, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
My apologies.
No, it's fine. Here,
Thank you, Heather.
I was looking at
sorry for the
quantity and you were taking time.
Here,
Josh, what did we end up paying for it then?
120.
120.
The extra that we had talked about was to outfit with a wing, which we do not need right off, right? That can. We can use that grader through this year for wing and back banks if we get snow. And then we put it on the market in the spring, which is when people are gonna be looking. Yeah. Could have 2 people out there on graders. We'd have smoothest roads in northern Vermont.
Just keep it.
There are limitless options now.
Doesn't cost us.
That's very true.
10 years later, when we still got 2 graders on the road, the townspeople will say, why did you buy a new grader? Yeah.
Yep, I agree. All right.
I'm assuming you guys have all your numbers from what you discussed last time.
Yes.
Okay,
The road.
I'll need to get those some.
Did you get the emails from Robin Ware?
I haven't checked. I'm assuming, I thought Kathy checked, right?
Yeah, I sent them, I forwarded them to Kathy and made sure she had them. You were,
I would think I was CC'd on the original one.
you were the primary, I was CC'd and you should have the documents that we're going to sign tonight.
I got them. Did she print those off for you yet or no?
Yeah, I got them.
You did, okay.
Thank you.
So do we want to cover the expenses that we already have right here? The stuff that she provided first?
Warrant stuck up there.
Yeah, you guys have the warrants up on that?
No, Tammy took them.
Okay, there we go.
Jerry's got them.
I know I signed them. I don't know if you did yet.
All right. So. We can start at, under bills.
Are we on, we're on the road?
on the town expenses. We
Town,
went
okay.
over roads.
We went over the road last time,
We went
correct?
over roads, yeah, the meeting you weren't here for, because we had Mac.
Yeah, and I gave you the,
Yep.
what you guys have spent already.
Did anybody give her an updated numbers?
No,
I have. This is my 10 scratchings and there's a bunch of them that you'll see say. And your name. Just because they're set by an outside entity
yeah, and I think we may have talked about some of them already.
and like. The lines on the side with the circles, if you need clarification, I can clarify afterwards. It all made sense when I did it.
P.S. My name does not have an H at the end. That's pronounced Mariah.
Yes,
That's
I have one
okay.
of those in my class, and I call her Maria all the time. Oh, yeah, so. Great. Sure.
Not the first time. It's better than Marie.
Okay. Advertising, that's where we'll start. On this one, town expenses. Yep. Good down there, Carrie. Start on this one. All right, so advertising. We have 250 in, we've spent 16. Seems to me 250 would be sufficient.
I agree. I concur.
Yay, check mark. Actually, are you making note of this as we go?
Yeah, I'm actually have a whole new budget pulled up that I'm just filling in what we're,
Okay. Have we received the ambulance contract yet?
I haven't seen it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Wasn't that
Was-
contract, it was a 3-year contract
We
and it was
actually-
graduated payments.
Yeah, we actually asked for a extended contract. Which they balked at. I don't know, did it have the payment schedule on it?
I thought so.
Okay,
Mm,
it should have. Or at least, a percentage, because I thought we.
It's a different group of people, isn't it?
Well, that doesn't matter, they signed a contract.
No, but I mean, the older group of people always made sure that we had a copy every spring.
Right,
But it was after the first of the year.
but it,
Um,
okay, so they're,
they're not necessarily late yet.
okay. So maybe. We could reach out to them and just let them know that we're in the process of building the budget and would like that, unless it's,
Must we have it already?
unless we have it already, because it might have just been a percentage. I think that's what we tried for.
Yeah.
That was the, okay, so 2022 agreement,
Let's see if there's any
okay.
numbers. Ouch.
Cinnamon in here.
This is what we.
Wait, smell
Cinnamon, yeah.
cinnamon? I don't smell it.
You don't? Someone has something plugged in?
I love cinnamon.
That smell good. Mac was sitting here before. Mac, do you have cinnamon?
I've been eating cinnamon buns.
This is changing from what we had last year. Last year was a one credit. This year is just a loan. Yes, that's good. Sorry,
It's okay.
you got that too. It changes from a line of credit.
To a loan.
A loan.
Yep.
I heard this. Looking at all this.
No, especially with the way that variable interest rates are right now. I don't know.
Well, if you will notice, it went up from like 2.25 to 4.
Yeah, I think everything that like almost doubled, I think.
Wow, yeah.
I think like the New York prime rate went up to like 7% or something like that. From like
Yeah.
3, 0.25 from last year.
And this 4.65 is fixed, right?
That is fixed.
Yeah.
And that is a special rate for municipalities.
Uh-huh.
That is a special rate for preferred customers, as you put it. So.
Because we borrow so frequently, they're happy to hand it out. I didn't say that. There you go. Lynn.
Nothing?
Yeah.
A number in there?
Wasn't there a percentage increase per year? I thought it was.
Yeah, but I thought it was stated.
Escalator clause.
Not the cost agreement.
So we can always reach out to them tomorrow.
All right, so that one is set. 5 or 4. DCA expenses. 1,500 budgeted. 180 paid. Now, I believe we went 1,500 on that because the year prior. We had. Over $1,200 in expenses,
They were legal fees, yeah.
correct?
But since we now have a cushion of already 1,300 in there,
Does that stay?
it can.
Because these aren't necessarily,
No, they are not.
Accounts,
They
they
can
are-
go into, they can be rolled over. They are not allocated by vote. So they can be rolled over to wherever we want them to be.
right?
What's the acronym BCA stand for?
Board of Civil Authority.
Okay, thanks.
What I'm saying, Lance,
Is
is,
that take care of like anytime we move? we have to pay,
yeah,
it Takes care of that.
Yeah.
I almost feel like we're leaving it 1,500.
Do we want to
It's
just,
not,
Anything that's left over, Josh, can go back into the general fund.
right, what I'm saying is here, at the end of this. This is what we budgeted on the second page. And this is what we've spent. So we're actually,
well, I wanted
What-
to ask
what-
about that though, Josh, because that's all down, all that comes down on the first page, the third item from the bottom. That's right where that big, a lot of that happened.
okay,
I just don't know how that happened.
that,
So I was gonna ask when we get to that point.
was our payment last year, correct me if I'm wrong, our fire department payment last year didn't get paid until after the first of the year. So it was
Correct.
on this year's
Right.
numbers. So technically, we made 2 payments to the fire department contract this year. We didn't
go
make
get
one
the-
last year.
So,
Look at the fire department, it's like 1.55.
yeah, that's what I was looking at. So we're paying them $750,000 a year?
Yeah, well,
Is that,
should be 72 something, right?
well, that's right. We're at 72,000 because we paid,
83.
well, that's what,
Whatever
that's what the budget amount was, 83, but we paid 1.5 million. So either there's a,
Well,
that's my,
twice that. If you do the numbers, that's twice that.
No, it's not.
no, it's not. It's 166,000.
Extra zero.
I think we've got a digit here. We put an extra zero. Yeah.
My,
Well, that's why I'm asking, because it was one heck of an increase. So I just figured it's a fat finger, a decimal point or something.
Third item up from the bottom here.
Fire,
Well,
Oh,
I
my-
was looking.
If you look at, for some reason,
How much we were.
my
over.
formula carried over
right?
over here, and I don't know why it did.
yeah, that is a good question. Why is the fire department's contract?
It's because the
1.5?
formula carried over for some reason, and it's $73,814.
Is what we
Why,
paid.
why does it say 83,000?
Well, that's what we budgeted, right?
Right.
And you're saying we should have paid 73,000?
Yep, we paid 73,814.
And, but we doubled that, right?
Yeah.
We doubled that because we didn't pay
No,
last
we-
year?
We didn't actually pay 1.5.
No, that's, I just figured there's an extra zero. in
No,
there.
it's,
55,000.
It's Excel.
For an extension.
I can show you.
We did, but that's why we paid them twice this year. Yeah. We paid them in January and we paid them just recently.
So in reality, we paid him $155,094. We just have an extra zero in there.
I just, I'm pulling it up in QuickBooks, so I have the
Okay,
exact number.
take your time. Because I had that like asterisk question mark. I'm like, how
Yeah,
did,
no,
what
that
the,
makes sense.
something's not right with that. That's why I was.
Like 20 times more than that.
Yes, I know, but I mean, that's.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of a tan loan.
I can cross that out. I can cross that.
And you can cross
I
this
can
one out
print you
here.
guys a new one too, if you want.
Cross this out here.
Yeah,
That may be best. I'm crossing a lot of stuff out.
yeah, because that makes,
It definitely changes the whole
Oh, yeah.
landscape.
Yeah,
I mean,
If you look at the
totally changes all
total,
the numbers.
it's a little different.
I was having a
things
mild
start-
stroke
things are
over
starting to
here.
balance out a little
A little
better.
better
here.
I was having a mild stroke when I looked at it. Oh my God.
Oh, okay, hang on, I'm just trying to find it.
So.
I already signed him. I don't know if Lance did yet.
I have not.
Not,
Thank you, Josh.
that's why we check and recheck. it.
Right,
There we go.
Did you,
Yes.
Bring my spouse. Is that the house? Or
Uh,
the-
No, the Brigham expense would be what we're paying to keep it up, correct, Lance? The expense,
Which one?
not the residents.
which one?
The
Regular
first one.
expenses is for its current upkeep.
So this year, boarding up all the windows.
Right,
and-
all that plywood and
Is that number right?
it's,
I don't think we did that much, did we?
no, I don't believe we did that much either.
Yeah, 26,000. I mean, yeah, or 31,000.
Mac, how much the plywood cost?
Or what, 31,000?
No. That seems,
It's,
oh, you know what's going in there? And it's gonna be reimbursed. Is the architect's expenses. Paul Dreer's costs are going into that.
is that what
That
elevated
gets
that?
reimbursed out of
Yes, and that's gonna get reimbursed out of the grant.
the grant.
so yeah, both of the fire department was 73,814.
Can you print some new sheets? I'll go grab them. Thanks. I'll grab them.
So we should be.
Paul Dreer's been about.
Let me just make sure nothing else got
If I
carried
remember
over.
right, been about $1,200 a month. Does that sound correct, Maria?
What?
Paul Dreer's expenses have been about $1,200 a month,
Yeah,
roughly.
roughly. Some are more, some are less.
That would equivalent out a little better.
Yep, that looks way better.
We obviously did.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Plywood and
Six.
racks and machinery. and-
But did we end up getting insurance money for that?
No, I don't believe so, no. That can be used to reimburse this point,
Right,
once it's here.
but where's it at? For the insurance.
Waiting for the receipts. I've been doing the insurance things. We got an insurance.
Matt, get the receipts, we get our money.
So the $5,000 would be sufficient in there.
Okay, sorry. Get back. Okay,
So the insurance claim will cover the plywood, that machinery.
Maybe later.
And labor.
Yeah. So I think the 5,000 again, I think is sufficient for basic maintenance and upkeep of the building. Would you agree, Lance?
Yes.
Brigham residents, we have $250.
I gotta go back to that, cause
Six, who's getting six?
so
yep, and I get one.
where would we get this money to cover this if
Wait,
the
2,
insurance
4.
doesn't come through?
I need one more.
Other places were over.
Can do
I can
that.
get that one. Okay,
Sure, I'll grab it.
fine.
Yeah, because these are like big numbers. They're not line items.
Thank you.
Okay,
So, like, we have a full left at like the ambulance contract of 4,500. If we're over somewhere else,
Where's the print an extra 13?
there we go. And we can use that. Fill in the general fund. This is the general fund budget we're talking.
okay.
So just a quick question on what we just printed out,
Yep.
still with the fire. We budgeted 83,000, we spent 147,000, we have 147,000 left.
The formula is probably wrong.
Okay, so what do we have left? Nothing, right?
Nothing.
Are
Well,
we at a
you have the
negative?
difference between the 83,814.
Here, just.
Theoretically, you'd be in the hole.
Right,
Over that.
so that number's still wrong.
Take.
Fire contract,
that's actually 73.
So we budgeted 73, not 83?
Yeah,
How is he way down
We
there? and
budgeted-
we up here.
the payment is actually 73, is that correct?
Right.
73, 18, so then we were over a negative 73, 814. It's,
And John, if you don't jump around, we'll get there.
go ahead, sorry,
Yeah.
I just, well, I was having a mini heart attack over that number, so.
So it's negative
Stay in
63,814.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we doubled it. Cool. All right,
We're on Brigham residence,
Brigham
John.
residents.
I'm here.
$50. The reason we have $250 in there is because typically this money is spent and then reimbursed via the grant money.
Okay.
Is $250 sufficient? Lance, I'm looking at you because typically you're the guy doing that.
What are we doing, Brigham residents?
Again, because it's in and out, it's not,
Yeah.
so we can leave that
That's
there.
fine. I see no need to change that, Josh.
What did we decide on Brigham expense itself?
We decided that 5,000 was sufficient.
Okay.
Because what we're trying to do is get a insurance claim to cover the excess spending this year.
Okay.
Which was plywood, time, and a lift rental.
So we won't have that Paul dryer expense next year in 2023?
That is
Probably not.
reimbursable by the grant.
Okay,
So it shows up as a negative now. Once the grant money comes back in, the only extra or excess spending we would have on that account would be the plywood and the machinery rental.
All right.
Does that make sense?
perfect.
And to answer your question in a different way, that is entirely dependent on what grants we get to continue the Brigham project.
Okay,
If we're going to continue to use him as the architect, we will see his bills in a different form. But they will be covered by another grant.
okay.
Building expenses, that is this building. We have 250, we spent 128, actually, we spent more than that
Right.
because the
Peter,
cleaning of the furnace.
Right.
will be in this one.
and I
We
think,
know we need a new furnace,
Mhm.
so what have our, John, you've been in charge of that, what have the typical bids been?
we only really received one bid. It's out there. I can go grab it real quick. Give me a second.
Yeah, if we can budget for a new furnace, then we might as well.
Gonna have to, because if it ends up dying in the middle of the winter, we're gonna have the money to
Stop it.
replace it.
We'll just slip in a wood stove.
Technically, if it dies in the middle of.
Yeah, I'm not loading it.
Because we're fiscal year.
Right. Right.
I think that would be an allowable ARPA expense.
I hope so. In that case. let's go for Rob's.
So we only received one quote,
I just need-
8,700.
All right, so.
I was
Keep
gonna
in
say
mind, that was
10,000.
like 6 months ago.
Okay, so in keeping with the way that everything has been going. If we can wait until spring, which hopefully we can, to replace the furnace. Prices of everything seem to be increasing. I would say we would probably need to put 10,000 into
That's
that
what I said.
At least,
For building,
for building expense.
10,000 on top of the 250.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
What was that quote, John, for the furnace?
8,700.
Yeah, I'd put the
but that
10,000
quote
on
is
top of it.
from September.
Right, so,
Just as an aside, I was here when Hulbert's guy was here to clean the furnace.
yeah,
He gave it a qualified okay.
Yep,
Said, but when it goes, you're done.
yep.
Okay, it's okay for now. When it goes, you're done. It needs to be replaced.
and is that both or the one of them? Because
Both.
both.
Oh,
So, and that quote, I think, is only for one of them, if I remember right. I think it's a single furnace, if I remember.
is that what you recall him saying, Mac?
Um,
I'm sure there's no getting parts for that thing at this point.
no, probably not. So
Oh,
this
minor,
is-
minor parts and pieces, but when
Yeah.
they fail, they're done. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, this says installing one Airco furnace low boy oil, including all fit ups, labor and removal of old unit and including an oil cleaning on second unit.
Right.
Which means the second unit would not be replaced, it would just be cleaned.
Right,
So if we were to replace both of those, it's gonna be double.
right.
mhm,
Or if we were to buy a unit big enough to control both sections,
right.
It's going to be somewhere, but
it's gonna be somewhere in between.
like 15,000-17,000.
So do we bump that up to 15 in full intentions of replacing the furnace in the town clerk's office?
They've told us that they can replace it with a single unit with dual zones.
Was it this unit though?
No,
Okay,
that was not that unit.
Right,
so in what I've seen, because if you size this, if you were to take this unit and size it up to what we would need to control both units, it's not quite gonna be double, but it's gonna
Right.
be time and a half what this unit's gonna be. So I
Right.
almost feel like it should be
15 or
$15,000
17.
line item with the full intention of replacing the furnace this year.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So
So-
15,250.
15,250.
pretty.
That one hurt.
Yep.
Hey,
And we have no grant money out there for any of that.
We might be able to
I
find
mean, it
some.
seems like they've got all
Absolutely.
kinds of money they wanna
You're spoiling my thunder.
throw out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, there's all sorts of grant money out there. It's just,
Spending the time and hiring somebody to do it.
that is what it comes to.
Yeah,
Richford, I know has, they have, I can't say they hired somebody, but they have somebody that they go to on a regular to write grants for them.
We have somebody coming in, meeting with me tomorrow at 2:00.
Excellent. We would talk about that in other business.
You're supposed to be doing it for us too.
Not necessarily. I'd rather have results and say, here's what we did, or here's what's available, here's what they can do. Is that-
Cemetery expenses. I am not sure why we.
We
have
had,
those.
what was it? It was just recently. Tammy, do you remember what it was? Cemetery expense. It was just one thing recently, and they said that the town was gonna pay for it. They signed off on it.
wait, where are you finding cemetery?
175.
Yeah, it was 175.
Names on the monument?
Yes, that's what it
yeah,
was.
that was.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
Where
like
is
it was just something recently. What was it?
Alphabetical
The
order.
cemetery,
That was names on
You got
the.
old one?
that's the one. yeah.
Names on the honor roll.
Today? Oh, that's why.
Um.
So that's not
so
something
can
that's
we cross
normal.
Cemetery expenses off and put monument expenses.
Yeah, I can change it.
Well, I'll just move it down the items list, but
Alphabetically.
I mean.
That's when
cemetery-
my formulas get screwed up.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Oh, well, I just, cemetery expenses, when we have a cemetery committee.
Yeah,
People were to question that. Or monument.
What if you did cemetery parentheses monument?
when I
expense?
have it in QuickBooks, I do a memo in there, but obviously not on our Excel spreadsheet. But I will put monument expense.
Yeah, because I think it's the way it
Expenses.
sounds like we may have.
Monument engraving expense.
And are we gonna put something in there?
If we were to have one, if we were to put
So-
250 in there every year, that would cover any names that came forward. If we don't use it, it's not a big deal.
Why does that become our expense and not the cemetery?
Because it's it's not a gravestone. It's a memorial. It's a town memorial monument. That's the way I would look at it.
It's not really at the cemetery either, right? It's in the town park.
In the park, but the cemetery pays for the park to be,
They do pay for they
Mowed
paid
and
for the mowing
flowers.
and the stone that got put in, I think was done by them, but
Because
I
they don't
think-
consider that the park, they consider it the cemetery.
well, no, because they'll never put gravestones there.
No, they don't.
The
consider
great,
Park
yeah.
Cemetery.
That's the town green.
Oh, they did change that?
Yeah, because they're, the way I understood it is there will never be stones ahead of the maples here, the big maple trees. That'll always be a town green.
As long as
with the
we're all
monument.
here.
As long as, yeah.
so they're running a room, right?
If we're not here, I don't want to be up against Main Street, but not out. So yeah,
I'd kind of like to be.
You get the
close to
plot
Park
right in the
Riders.
middle of 108.
I think we could put in monument expenses, I think we could put $250. That way, if the price of putting names on the monument goes up, we're still covered, but I think that should be. I think it would be on the town to put names and honor our veterans on that monument. Copier expenses, I think that's set by the copier company, correct?
Yeah,
So if you could look into that and just see what that is and adjust
I
that.
think it's the same. I haven't
It's
heard
a
of it.
contract that
going
we
up.
have, right?
Yeah,
But sometimes they go up.
Oh, really?
I haven't heard about it going up.
Okay.
What's the length of our contract? Do we know
I don't
the
know.
terms?
On the monument.
Yeah, that's fine.
We don't own that. We don't own the copyright. We lease it.
We do not own the
Right.
copier.
I would say keep it the same unless we find out otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, we budgeted 1750. The expense was 1653, so.
Yeah, it's a per click thing.
We
Probably
this
have one
month
more
payment.
payment.
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah,
per click
half-
thing,
half
right?
A month later.
Well,
So-
it's like it
Yeah.
covers a certain amount and then anything over.
Right,
you
it
get
covers
charged for.
certain amount of
That's,
pages and it's so much a page. They supply if it's like most of them, they supply
250,
the toner and stuff. We don't buy it. It's an all inclusive, but if we exceed certain amount of clicks in a month or copies in a month, then it increases the cost of it, right? I think 1750 is fine.
Court tax, is that a set number or is
Quite
that something
work
you
out.
bid
That's
in?
all right.
Lance, do you know?
What's that?
Court
The court
tax.
tax? Is that
Court
something-
tax is fixed. We are dictated that amount, so
So they will send us that?
they will send us a bill.
Same with the direct.
So the direct tax is directly
Is what we
is from
voted.
from the bill, yeah.
$45 a month, okay.
Again, not something we control.
That is by the Franklin County courts. And we don't have any choice.
direct tax previous year.
That's the school.
Why would we have? Why would we have the previous year's direct tax? Is that for?
So if like,
donation?
if we owed them more than what we originally paid them for, sometimes they don't find out in, I can't remember what month it was, how much we were supposed to pay them.
Okay,
Sometimes there's like a difference.
okay. So we leave that in there without the number and hope that it doesn't show up.
Yep.
Dog expense.
There must be dog
Expense.
tags.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what are we spending on?
Registration.
It seems to me that $250 was enough to cover dog tags.
Yes.
We can leave that as is.
I'm not sure what the donation was. That's still at zero from last year.
Okay.
I just wanna remove it.
Education, we put $1,000 in. Took 184 out. I say we leave $1,000 in.
And that's for education.
Education for, say Maria needs to go down for a training or, yep.
That works out.
That would be where that money comes from for training. So if you ever have to
Comes
go.
out to the difference.
remember that
This year it was the week I had a baby. So I couldn't go.
Oh, so you skipped out, huh?
Yeah.
Kick these guys.
Just so you know, they become great excuses later on in life also.
Yeah.
October.
Electric
just about
for the cemetery, we.
They're in the hole.
We spent 300, thank you, Green Mountain Electric. Is that because we left it on, you think?
Yeah,
Probably.
Because we budgeted, or we had said we weren't gonna leave it on, but then came to
The trees?
ease. It was easier to leave it on than it was to call them and have them shut it off and then call them again. and
Oh,
turn it
gotcha.
back on.
Well, because they wanted to use it 4th of July.
Right, so do we,
I just leave it on.
I agree, we leave it on, but do we bump that up to 500?
you're gonna need to.
At least up
least
to
400.
4.
Well,
I have
we know
4.
we know there's a budget, we know there's a hike coming in the,
I know Terry's got a,
we have some inside intel.
Honestly, what's it really take to turn off but a phone call?
They probably
To
have a
do what?
service call to bring somebody up here to flip a switch.
Oh, it's
Terry
just-
Turn it off and then turn it back on.
$20.
It's $20. So $40 in the course of a year versus, plus what we used. And we kind of,
$20 to turn it off.
Well, that's what it was. It was $20 to
No.
turn it off, or the $40.
$20
to turn it on, $40 to turn it off, and
All right.
$60 were over.
all right, whatever you need.
So 500?
Yeah, let's put that up to 500 and leave it on for the year. Maybe we'll have a 4th of July celebration with some extra stuff out there.
Total paid.
yay.
Electricity for the offices, budgeted 1,000, spent 900 plus this month.
Leave it.
I would say, you don't think.
We're
we'll-
taking a hike.
You got 1,050, you got 110, 113 more than,
We haven't got this.
We
month's
haven't got
bill.
through this month yet.
yeah, yeah, I keep forgetting that, Josh.
So
Thank you.
should we bump that up to 1,500?
Mm,
So you brought the electricity set up to 500?
Yeah.
At least 1,250 in a way,
Yeah.
but 1,500 wouldn't hurt. And if there's leftover, we'll take it off next year.
If there's leftover, well, yeah. It might get chewed up somewhere else.
It might.
This is for
very
the
well.
office electricity? Yeah, there's,
So the electricity we're using right now. You know what it is, it's all these new Zoom things.
oh yeah, it's costing you a fortune. No, I'm
Yeah.
just
But we
kidding.
go out there and cut firewood with the meter, it's spinning so fast.
Uh,
You gotta make sure nobody's using electric heaters out there for their toesies.
I got one under my desk. Don't look.
Oh, there, see,
There it is.
found a culprit already.
Fire department Contract, I think we've hashed out enough, haven't we, John?
yeah, but we don't know what
do
next.
that.
We don't know what
year's
next year's
gonna
gonna
be
cost.
More than 73.
But it's
We do
gonna be-
have that.
it's gonna be sent to us, correct?
Really?
No, we've already signed a contract for the fire department.
What's next year's fire department contract's gonna cost us?
Can't tell you off the top of my head.
I'm
be.
trying
How
to,
come?
Would it be the same as
Is it
what we
in the
did
budget?
this year?
no, it goes up every year.
Yeah,
I wanna say that's where the 83,814 came from.
That's
I
possible.
wanna say that too.
Yeah.
Fire
That's
That
$10,000.
is-
It goes up $10,000.
Seven?
Cause I think at the end of the 5-year contract, we're paying the 100.
Page
Wow.
28,
Thank you, John.
I believe.
28.
Yeah.
Did they end up buying something new, a truck or something? They have,
I think the lead time on equipment scared them away
Oh,
from purchasing a new
that's not it.
vehicle.
oh, that's right.
It was
Fire chief.
too far out.
Starts at 27, fire
Target
district.
This year, it
page
was like 4 or
27
5
has-
years before they could actually get one, so they were like.
No, fire district is water. You got the right page, but that's their update. That's not the contract, and we may not have it in here. We do have it on record, but Tammy may have to look it up
See what's
for us.
looking right now.
There is a set contract that we've already signed. We have a fixed amount for next year. It is going to be more than 73,800.
I'm pretty sure, Lance, that's the 83,814.
That's very possible. Very possible, Josh.
Tammy, do you have a number there?
Oh, yeah, 2023 is 83,814.
There you go.
2024 is 88.
Yeah, we just did it a year early.
We don't need that next one, just the 2023.
Yeah.
So it's the same that we budgeted last.
That's in there right now. Yep.
Yeah.
Still have this 2027.
And which I think at 2027, we're paying like $120,000.
101, 870.
Well, no,
Look at that.
I knew it wasn't that
Saved us
much.
all sorts of money.
You already saved us money, just like that.
So 83,
14
814.
will stay.
Okay.
Fireworks.
Spend a little more.
It's, that's been rolled over for years.
No, that was spent.
That was
this
spent
This
this
year.
year.
No. What I'm saying is it was like 4 years of just kind of rolling it over.
Yeah,
because we
but it
never-
was spent
It was
this year.
spent this year.
Yes.
Overspent.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody overspent. Who bought fireworks?
Larry
Larry.
Krieger.
Larry Krieger, yeah. Derek Krieger actually.
Oh,
bought it.
Larry's one again. Yeah.
True. You got it.
I have never heard a complaint in the village about the fireworks.
Nope. Absolutely not.
So how much did we spend this year on fireworks? You're saying 3,700?
760
59,
almost.
75.
How much do we normally budget for it? You have,
This is what we
36,
budgeted for.
86, 73.
This.
we have
so the 30
several years backed up, right?
Right. The
Yeah.
36,
Because they haven't done it.
Yeah, so John, the 36, 86, 73
Yeah.
is what was budgeted. I'm gonna say
Plus what
probably
was left over.
in 2018 or 19.
Okay,
We did
19, I think.
19,
Yeah.
we not rolled it over. We did not spend and we left that money alone
okay.
in anticipation of hopefully having a 4th of July celebration sometime in the
2020.
future.
Gotcha.
Finally got to have it this year.
Okay, so we haven't been putting into it though. We've just been carrying over that
Right.
amount.
Oh,
Okay,
just been
okay, that's
leaving
where
it
it's
there.
confused.
So this year we do have to replenish it though.
I would say 4,500.
You would say.
Whoa.
Well, it's 37.59.
I'm gonna say 4.
Oh, I'll say 42.50.
Someone should
Price
go
is
buy
right, right,
fireworks
higher,
now.
higher.
Right? Are they like cheap right now? Well, probably maybe not because of New Year's Eve. Maybe you should wait till after New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
We gotta start buying them after the 4th of July
Right.
for the next year.
Right.
Or you can like buy two
Exactly.
and get two or something,
They
right?
go in May and they buy them and they get a good price.
So,
I think 4 is sufficient. I mean, that's $250 more than they spent this year. If it's not enough, then we can bump it up again next year.
If they
It's
spend
not
more,
enough.
are you
We
gonna
can get
cover it?
donations. Pass the hat
I was
that
gonna
night.
say, if they spend more than $4,000, we will say at the thing,
Pass the
right
hat.
before you do the speech and the national anthem, that we were over budget by $150. We're gonna pass the hat, please
Yeah.
carry quarters.
There you go.
We're gonna need a bigger hat.
Can I ask why we stopped doing fundraisers and everything and went straight to collecting the money from townspeople, since a lot of the people that come out are from out of town, seems like we're paying for them to come in. And we don't even have a store for them to really buy anymore. Is there a reason why we can't start asking, for donations again and running fundraisers?
Heather, I can answer that very quickly. Lack of community support.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know how long I don't know,
No,
it just
I
seems like
wouldn't
other.
say- I wouldn't say lack of community support, because I think the community does support it, because here it is in our budget and
We're
we're
paying
paying
it.
for it. I would say people would rather pay than sit at a fundraiser.
By lack of community support, I mean lack of people who are willing to come out and help with
Exactly.
the event.
Exactly.
No
The
parade
fundraiser.
this year is
Yeah.
a good example.
Um, we need people who are willing to come and participate,
Right.
not just come and
wow.
observe.
Right, it's just too bad we couldn't use some money collected from the ATVs to cover some of the other things too, just besides the roads.
There
Wow,
are
we would,
abundance of people who are willing to come and observe the fireworks
Mhm.
and the air show when we had it and whatever else we have. But there are a limited number of people who are willing to come forth and participate and help with the events.
well, because it is such a big event, it really is a great opportunity for any entity in town, like the fire department or the library or anyone, the churches, to be able to put something out as one of their fundraisers.
Fire department is our main supporter.
Right.
Church is there. Special Concerns is no longer an entity. There are other individuals who are helping, but the support group who started this are no longer there.
Right. I just remember when they first started doing, they said, oh, we'll never ask the town to take it over. We'll always fundraise for it. And then boom, 2 to 3 years later, you know,
Oh, no, it's been a lot longer than that.
yeah, I know, but you know what I mean? It starts
It's
out.
been, it's been 15 years, Heather.
And there's still no reason why outside people, we can't do stuff like, can we be a little more innovative as far as maybe redoing a forum to do this? Like, there's just,
We would absolutely welcome anyone that wants to take on that task.
Absolutely.
okay. Because I was thinking if we sold ice cream or sold some things, it could be a little bit of a fundraiser to get some of the money from the outside versus just depending on the townspeople to float everybody that comes in. Like if we had other reasons they were coming into town, like if they were even purchasing from our local store, then I would be like, yeah, sure. But we don't even have a local store for them to support anymore.
The fire department has the meetings starting in the spring for the 4th of July. And they are very willing to accept people and help from outside. So if you are really interested, then you'll show up there.
Spring for the 4th of July, they're doing
That's
it in
when
the
it start.
spring. Oh,
They
okay.
start in March, April.
I would have thought January, so maybe, is there somebody I
May-
could reach out to?
Matt Hall.
Matt Hall,
Okay.
Paul,
Paul
Stanley.
Stanley, yep.
Paul Stanley.
Robert Willie
Robert Willie,
and,
Ginger,
yep.
Ginger Miles,
Ginger Parent.
no, Terrence, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. I just
Yeah.
got some ideas that maybe we could do that
Yeah.
night. That would help raise money.
And Heather, to your point, we did something for the community collective, trying to do the store thing, and we sold hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff at the actual event, the 4th of July, and we made, I think it was $800, Brenda? $800. I mean, I want to cover the whole thing, but we had a good time burning our dogs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, something like that, not to
So,
replace
Dawn-
all the costs, just to,
Right.
Are you guys donating that money towards this year's fireworks?
That's a
Seeing
great-
How the store is no longer an
That's a
option?
That's a great question. It really is, and the group has to decide if we're gonna keep chasing after a store and we're gonna put the funds somewhere to incorporate or to not incorporate, but to get everything legal, and or if we're going to donate it somewhere. And Josh, it's not Josh's one. Rent it.
Available, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't only the store.
They purchased it.
Yeah, well, are they opening a store there?
Insurance
offices.
agency.
See, we were looking at alternate locations as well.
Six
Okay.
sole offices. Yep.
We were looking at alternate locations as well, because frankly, in this person's personal opinion, and we're way off track, I didn't feel that the store was going to be able to support what we needed at the time. That store.
So that money's not being donated this year towards fireworks.
I don't know. I gotta talk to the committee.
That was short answer. Thank you.
Well, can you bring it up at
They
your
have
next
their own
meeting?
projects,
That'd be a good spot
perfect.
for it.
That's the hard part, is getting people to donate their time.
They have their own projects and they have their own goals.
Make money to donate back to the town.
Mhm.
So, all right, flags. Typically not $1,500, typically in the road budget also, isn't it?
We bought all the
I
flags
will
this year.
speak to that. If you look at what happened to the flags this year with the excessive winds that we've had.
Yep.
The flags that were purchased and they were above average quality flags, did not last well.
No,
The poles are good.
We just need flags.
So I know
Really?
nobody can hear Mac, but.
Did we
he's
take 'em
saying
down?
the Poles,
After Veterans Day, because we caught slack about Veterans Day.
the poles are sufficient, the flags,
Some of the poles.
okay,
We probably have,
most
yeah,
of the poles survive,
5 or 6 poles.
and we will need to redo the flags this year.
So we're looking at almost the same expense. We're looking at a similar expense.
The poles, I think, were the more expensive part, but
right.
yeah. You know, I think you could take it
Can you give us a rough guess at how much the flags were, Matt?
It was 1581 last year for everything.
Right.
Well, for the town portion.
It wasn't. We went to Amazon.
Could you get the replacement flags for $1,000?
I would say so.
Yeah.
And that would probably include also replacing the big flag in the park.
I don't think the big flag in the park's gonna get under in that number.
No.
I think the big flag in the park might have come out of that other flags.
Okay,
Road.
The original flag was just the small flag for the monument.
okay. So $1,000 for flags.
Yeah.
Everybody see that is sufficient?
Yes, I do.
If not, we can up it next year. For more. Flowers. I feel like we spent more than $75 in flowers this year due to the high number of
I would say that would,
fatalities.
yeah,
and-
we'd spend a lot more than
Yes,
that
we
on
did.
flowers.
Maybe we haven't gotten the most recent one because of,
Or maybe Sarah Joe donated
she
some.
may have donated, yeah.
Fingers crossed that we don't have a high flower expense because
Right.
that's not a good thing, but I would say it's safe to say, I've done the talking with SJ the past couple times and we give her a number. And she creates something for us in that number. That's the number you see there. So it'd just be just be determining how many people do we plan on passing away this next coming year.
Put your hand down. So, on average, how many, you have $75 here? Was that for one set of flowers, two sets of flowers?
Yeah.
I would say so.
So,
You're not getting much for 75 even.
I,
No, especially now.
SJ can make a.
let's see, 300,
For $75. She does-
300 or 450.
I'd say 450.
That'll give
Oh,
us
no, I
6
know.
sets of
She does.
flowers if needed.
She's giving you a deal,
Yeah.
but
450 for 6 sets of flowers.
I'd put 500 there to be safe.
There you go.
500 on flowers. Mac, the generator, I'm assuming that's not for this building.
School.
No, there's a whole line item for school generator too.
Okay, so this quite possibly. This could be
Yeah.
struck this
Right here.
generator can be struck from
2/3 of the
the.
way down the. page.
No, they have a generator down in the,
Is that gas for the
Yeah,
generator?
but that's the road department.
Well,
Right.
it's actually town, but the water department takes care of that one.
So we don't need that.
We don't need that one. We can strike that generator and go strictly to the.
No, you do
school.
need that generator, don't you?
yeah, well, they do, but he's just saying that we can
Comes
put it
from
under
different-
road expense.
Okay.
Yeah,
So move that to under the road expense.
health officer expenses, I believe we can leave at 250.
Mm-hmm.
Heating fuel.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say we could double that, but I think.
Oh, I bet
It's
you.
going down right now. If anybody needs
Yeah.
fuel, go get some.
really?
Really?
I'll order it again. I'm
but,
top.
I think.
What'd
we
he go down to?
45 or 5?
I don't know.
I would do 5.
I mean, we can almost roll it
Really?
back, Josh.
True.
Wow.
We have agreed to double.
Double
the
it.
Heating fuel to 5,000.
Ouch.
Yep, I felt that too.
And that's just for this building?
Yep.
That is this building.
Road has their own.
Covered Under the.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying.
Insurance is a set number, which you will have to get for us.
So that the north building,
The north building is covered under the road.
yeah, I know, but, what do we
It
keep down? There? Do we really have to keep that in the winter?
That
because
was
the
covered
south
last
building
meeting.
has, Water in it, so it can't freeze.
Oh, okay.
There's certain items that have to have,
Heat.
because there's like a steam jetting or something in there, right?
SAR, the.
Yeah.
spreader, and now we're using
So-
Hydroseed, yeah.
Winterized, but still.
So
Not see that gets screwed up.
for the north, we decided 2,000 and for the south, we decided 5,000. The last
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah,
Well, because the north, they must keep it like at a minimum.
yeah, just above.
Yeah.
freezing. I think
Right.
45 probably is the
Whatever.
lowest. I think that's the lowest setting on the thermostat is 45.
And and honestly, we spent almost all of this budget, and we still had the month left and I saw we definitely topped a whole bunch of tanks off that was in the warrants. So we're probably over what we budgeted for North, which was 1,500 last year.
Right.
We did, we bumped it to 2,000.
Yeah.
But that might not even be enough.
No, probably not.
Comcast internet. Budgeted 250, spent 150. I say we leave it at 250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late fees, penalty and interest.
That was still the remaining of
Yeah.
previous year.
Budgeted 500.
Hopefully there's none in there, but
Unexpected fees of 763. I think we're fine at 500.
Yeah.
Library.
that was just a grant that was put into our account from the state.
Okay.
And then we just took it out of our and put it in there.
So we can cross that
Yeah, we
out,
just
and
cross
if we
that
get
out.
another grant, we can put it in there again.
That was reimbursed.
Yep,
I think it was actually paid forward.
it was, yeah, paid forward. So it was paid into our account and then I had to take it out of our account, put it into the library.
Lister education, 250 budgeted. We did not spend any, but I think we leave that in there
Mhm.
as we're probably gonna be.
In case you get a new lister.
Exactly. Lister expenses budgeted 700, spent 471. I think 700 is sufficient.
Mhm.
Lister mileage.
That's what he thinks.
Excuse me.
Everybody ordered flowers.
Order them now.
Budgeted
I'm ready.
100, did not spend. Spent 65. I think 100 is sufficient.
I've been trying to hold it in.
It's all right.
I don't know.
Medicare,
That's a certain
that's a
percentage.
set price.
Yeah,
That
Mhm.
you will
It's a-
get for us.
yeah. Once we figure out our total salaries, then I can just take a percentage and
Yep.
put that in there.
Membership dues.
What is that for?
I believe it is it's in one of these, League of Cities and Towns,
Okay.
which if
Yeah.
it is, then you might as well just look at whatever. payments are.
Yeah, it is League of Cities and
I
Towns.
thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2,687.
Huh?
I'm talking to myself.
Oh.
Memorial
Keep it the
Day
same.
is the flags, right?
It's fixed.
The
I was
small-
looking
They'll
at-
run this.
Oh, yeah, that's in here somewhere. Right here. Organize these. Either way, it's a set fee.
That fee.
Per capita based in 2020,
Mhm.
set fee. I'll let you look at this for that one.
Okay.
So what's normally the Memorial Day expense for?
Flags.
So why do we have a flags over here for 1,500?
Small.
The small.
These
ones
are
that
the
go on
small memorial.
Okay,
Stones.
this is the Greystone ones. And we didn't spend any of it last year?
We got the flags.
Looks like we
donated
spent
through
all
the,
of it.
Didn't you get them, or did we put that all into one flag unit?
No, we
Usually Mr.
we
Hope did.
budgeted 750 and we spent 750.
No, I think,
No.
no, we
spent
spent nothing.
Oh, no, we spent nothing.
I think that should have offset the other flag expense because
Yeah.
Mr. that usually goes and gets the flags for us from not the VFW. It is the VFW or American Legion. And they probably just got all rolled into one.
The one instead
Yeah,
of being.
because we had a bunch
Okay.
of flags. So if
Do
we.
you want me to start putting that into one or do you want me to
Well, are they both say flags.
membership
Yep.
Memorial Day expenses and then, oh, you mean from town and road?
No, I think we could roll the flag expense into the Memorial Day expenses.
So get rid of
So
flags.
Combine the two
Okay,
So we're doing
flags
17.
And Memorial Day.
expense.
Well, we try, it makes sense because we try and have the new flags up by Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, yep.
So we're saying 1,750 total
Yes,
versus the two different buckets.
correct.
Okay. So across this hall.
Mileage. random mileage. $100. We didn't spend it, so that's a good thing.
I have a question about that actually for me.
Excellent.
So I do deposits, sometimes, tax season, Beer did a lot of them this year. So, and you have to go to deposits almost every day during taxes. I didn't know if that was something with the way that fuel prices are that we can get reimbursed for.
56 cents a mile, you can get 11.20 a day for the trip to Enosburg and back thereabouts. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and just anytime we have to do deposits, normally it's only like every other week or, depending on how much we're getting in, so it's not as big of a
Right.
deal. But tax season, we do have to go every day,
Mhm.
just about.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
If it's out, I think the way it's defined in normal business is if it's out of your everyday travels.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I mean, absolutely. Is 100 sufficient? You said that you're going once a week.
Every day during tax season for how long?
Is that
So
2 weeks?
probably 2 weeks at a time, yeah.
That's 10 days.
We probably should add a little to it.
So if we went 200 or 250 would be sufficient. I think 250.
Especially if someone else needs it too.
Yep. Miscellaneous expenses, $1,000 spent 226. I think 1,000 is fine. Office expenses, I had a note on office expenses here somewhere. I was told, Tammy, can you verify? I think she said to double that, correct?
Double it, probably.
For what?
For what?
Because it's. She gave me the reason to. Told her if she didn't write it down, I'd forget why.
She may have, did she write
did.
it on
You
there?
still forgot it.
I wrote it on my forehead. She said to double it because there was something coming up this year that was gonna cost more.
Did it have
Like I was there too and I can't remember.
Yeah.
something to do with the records?
No, because that has its own fund.
Has its own fund. She said double it. Because of something.
So we're saying 6,000 or 7,200.
Well, 3 times 2 is 6.
Well, we spent 36, so
Right,
that's why
right,
I'm
right. But I
asking.
think she's saying double what we budgeted. I think. So 6,000.
Hmm.
Oh, this water bill is set.
Do we have an election or something? No.
Can't remember what the hell she said it was.
How many expense?
No.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, water bill is set for 180. Overpayment of delinquent taxes, which wouldn't really cost us anything because it's just payments back.
Mhm.
Same thing with overpayment of taxes, it's just payments back.
What's the difference between those two lines, Maria?
So if somebody came in and paid delinquent taxes and they paid too much, so, paid Kathy too much and their bill had changed after the fact.
Okay, so you differentiate between the overpayment of regular taxes and overpayment overdue taxes?
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't had anybody overpay their delinquent taxes.
Okay.
So I don't know if you'll ever see it.
No, but the homestead tax often gets refunded after they put it
Right,
in,
after
and
they've already- yeah.
that comes out of that, right?
Park water bill, also set price. Planning expenses. Budgeted 100, spent 230.
Who is that?
Planning Commission?
Because they
I
didn't
would
plan it
assume.
very well.
Yeah,
No
Well,
pun
they didn't
intended.
have anything to do with us budgeting either, so.
They also had a couple things crop up that they had to cover last year, if I remember right, Tammy. Didn't they have someone come in or is that this year they're gonna start working on the books? They were talking about they had to pay time on it.
Right.
So I would think they would have to come to us with what they need for us to be able to budget it right.
I think what we did is we went off of. We had a
Prior year.
3-year
Previous,
breakdown or a
yeah.
5-year breakdown in this black folder right here. And for the past 5 years, they hadn't spent very much. This year they had one of those years where,
Jumped up.
everything costs, or they had to do a bunch. I mean, in order to cover ourselves, if we put that up to 250,
250, yeah.
I mean,
But it'd be nice to have an explanation on why they spent and what they spent it for.
who's
Oh, yeah, we should know what they spent it on.
the head of the?
Bill?
Bill and Ken
No.
Carter.
Earlier, yeah.
Bill Irwin. Yeah.
Would that be in a zone? Because we did have. Well, we got a couple. But we can have to.
Would depend on what they're.
Yeah, it's under both, depending on what the issue is.
I don't know.
Well, who,
I know what we did in zoning. I know what that.
Well, for a PUD, it would be under the planning commission. For other issues, it might be for the zoning commission, so.
Publish it in. Certified mail.
That's-
I think
For
that
planning
comes,
or
I think that
for
comes out of
zoning?
zoning.
Certified letters would come out of zone.
All my work was out of zoning.
Now, I mean, if you had a planning expense and you had to hold a hearing. There could be expenses there, or if you had to send a certified letter. That could,
We'd have to ask Bill or Ken.
great. I think for budgetary purposes, if we put 250 in there, it would cover what they spent this past year. And
I could pull it and tell you what exactly it was.
you've been letting us over here argue about it this whole time, and you're
If
just
you-
like, I could pull it.
I could pull them all out. There's
I
four
can-
different
I can pull it.
warrants that they're on. It was in September and September. I don't know if that rings any bells.
Want me to go pull them?
I can go pull them. Do you want me to?
No.
Okay.
I
For
thought you meant you could pull them on your computer.
for
Well,
the 250, no.
I can tell you the total each time.
Well, looking back, planning over the last few years, planning hit they topped at 500 in 2020.
Yeah,
Okay.
They spent 500.
it's an average.
325. Yeah, it jumps around every year. It's not the same, that's for sure.
They just had a year that, as Josh said, that they spent a little more than they actually
But I
do.
I do know,
Beginning to rewrite the town plan.
right, you gotta start planning that in, because the meetings, that's what they're talking about, right? The town plan and rewriting.
that's
all
why I
that stuff.
said they should come to us.
Yeah, I don't
If
think we
they
should
have
put a number
something
in.
in the works
That
that's gonna have an expense, they should be bringing that
the
forth
town
to us.
plan won't increase on that number.
They haven't gone over $100 before this year.
So can I ask, why is the planning commission a separate entity like the other ones are? Like the cemetery commission.
I'm gonna go just
No,
figure out what we
No,
spent that money.
they're like the CBA. the
She's
zoning-
just curious.
Okay. Yeah. but
Okay,
zoning has
they're
their own thing
appointed,
too.
they're appointed
Okay.
or elected.
So portalets. Budgeted 100, spent 128.
So would it be worth asking them though to a meeting to see what their plan is?
To see what they are projecting.
Yeah.
When's your meeting this month? Is it this Wednesday? Next Monday? Next Monday, right?
We're not going to their meeting. They're coming.
No, but you know what? Honestly, I'm standing there at every meeting filming, so if I remember, I can ask Bill if they can work on, or even, well, Tammy's here, she's on the board. She could just ask Bill to during the meeting that what's the budget number they need for 2023.
But it still would be nice for them to come to us
So it was
True.
and give us their plan.
Brenda, 8420
Really.
in September is when I wasn't here. So.
It
And
was what?
then
Sorry, I missed it.
It was Brenda was 8420. That was in September. And there's another planning that was O'Rourke Media.
That's, that's.
It's publication, right?
So is it supposed to be planning or zoning?
And then the St. Albans Messenger.
You know what? I bet it
Working
was
on
the boundary
planning
dispute.
and Stuff.
I bet it was the
With the
boundary
planning.
dispute. Right.
Yeah, because we had the
Yeah.
planned unit development, we had the PUD, and that was very complex. Yeah.
But here's the key thing. You just don't know what you're gonna have.
No.
You
it's what
don't know
comes
what's
through the
gonna come
door.
up until it comes up.
Yeah, it's what comes through the door. There's no.
You don't know what, right, you don't know what's gonna come up until it hits, so you can't
Yeah,
plan for that.
that's what they
Bill-
were.
Your team Tammy, you, Bill, and the crew need to figure out what you need for 2023. You know, at the next meeting.
That's close to $250 because that's what you put in the budget. Portalets.
128 is what it was this year, right?
Yes. That is our half of the portalet on the park.
Correct.
I'll go to 150.
We should probably go to 150 to cover the portalet on the park.
I appreciate that portal in the park when I'm mowing.
You go potty in the portalet on the
I
park.
have to.
Especially when you're pregnant.
Yeah, especially when I'm pregnant. Bounce it all around.
A lot of peas.
Whoa, postage. What the heck happened there?
Certified letters.
Yep, mass mailing.
Yeah,
and-
and we had the budget, the mailing of all the ballots.
Yep,
That's what you're looking at.
For
mandatory.
our wonderful,
Yeah.
And
But we won't have that this year, right?
we will not
We-
have that this year. Should we bump that up to 250 though, just to cover?
well, I can tell you, I was just at the post office today. You're getting a hike increase. It's 60 cents a stamp. It's gone to 63.
Oh, Lord.
Gosh, it could be $1. for you.
Beginning of the new year.
I can remember when they were 3 cents.
Well, that's what she was saying. She goes, now we gotta get pennies again. What the heck?
250.
So 250. All right, public announcement system. This is for the PA system for town meeting and the fireworks ceremony. When Lance gets up and sings the national anthem.
No, I don't sing it. I don't
He
sing.
doesn't sing. We budgeted 725. We did not have town meeting
Mhm.
and we only spent 300. So I think 725 is a good number to leave it at.
Is that because we're renting a system?
Yes. Because this, well, with this system.
We'd have to put speakers so it would come out into the room. You know, we'd
Is
have
that
to.
how
put
speakers
speakers.
work?
Have you hear yourself talk right now? Let me ask you this question. Do you hear yourself in this room talking?
So my question is.
The system can handle it. We just have to hook
all
it,
right,
some
so
kind
we-
of speaker
so we-
system up.
We just need a speaker.
We'd have
Some
to,
wires.
we'd have to rent or buy speakers.
Right.
Yeah. I'd have to talk to B and H, see what's suggested here.
Never mind. We'll just pay the
Yeah.
750.
There you go.
As long as we don't have to buy more stuff. for
750.
this
Who,
system.
do we usually get like Dave
System looks
Stetson or
great.
something?
We usually have, Brian Steele usually does it, if I remember
Oh,
correct.
oh, okay.
He's the one that
He's
usually-
got a system.
Stetson.
Oh, it is
Stetson?
Stetson?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Brian Steele was the one that did it for a town meeting. He was the guy always running around with the microphone handing it to people.
It's,
Maybe
it's
it could be
still,
Stetson's
it's
machine.
still his
Yeah,
equipment.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I guess it doesn't really matter who you borrow it from or use it. QuickBooks. You didn't budget for your own system.
Yeah.
I can look into what that's gonna cost this year, but we'd also
Nemrick.
talked about potentially switching to Nemrick.
Right.
I
And what
know
that
that's better
module
than-
costs.
Yeah, Vera really advocated for Nemrick.
Yeah,
I think we just find out from Saunders what it would take, Saunders team, and how much it would cost. And you'd have to test run it to see if it meets what you need.
yeah, well, I mean, every other town uses it,
Right. Well, that's
So-
what, Nemrick really supports all the towns in Vermont. So
right? So it's just like it's,
QuickBooks.
you had
before QuickBooks?
Peachtree.
Peachtree, yeah,
Yeah, and it's like, we just switched over to this like 3 years ago.
that's
Yeah.
correct.
It's $800 a year. Like I said, we can, I mean, you. could
Yeah,
simply reach
give me
out to
some
them.
get us some numbers on QuickBooks,
Not QuickBooks.
On
yeah,
On
no.
Nemrick
QuickBooks,
and-
on
Nemrick.
Ask for that, and there's something with them, but they haven't.
They haven't yet. I know you would,
And
look-
Adam Saunders was sick.
Oh, that's probably why.
We'll put John on it then.
You want me to chase it?
John.
Well, John,
I'll get the
I
answer
feel
tomorrow.
like John may be a little more nagging.
No, I just call and ask the question.
You think?
Just busting on.
You get it done, John. You just get it done, okay?
Right.
So. if
School
you
generator.
find A price on Nemrick,
Cost.
and it's what you want. If, I don't run the books, so quite honestly,
Mhm.
it's not up to me.
treasurer's module, it's different things that go together to make a treasurer's module, and we need to know what we need.
Right. Yeah, and maybe I can talk to
Yeah,
other treasurers too, just to
Yeah.
see how they like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna talk to Adam about the cost, the compatibility to QuickBooks, and of course, can we import the QuickBook database?
Mhm. Okay.
Anything else you need on that?
What modules will she need to run the
Yeah.
full treasurers?
there's like.
Yeah.
And
Payroll,
is it cloud-based or is it PC-based, right?
based, yeah.
All right,
Cloud-based right now, thank you. So we're looking.
I'll get on it.
into Nemrick. I was gonna write that, but every time I write Nemrick, I spell it different.
any MRC?
Generator.
Matt, question on that. Do we have a contract?
Do you never sent one?
A contract with who?
Milton Cat.
Milton
for
Cat.
service.
And that's why we lapsed
Proto?
the service is because we didn't have a contract. And then we were going to try and get one again and
Send me one after whatever his name was, came up and did the service, which he never did.
Do you want
Um,
to call and
All through on it?
see if she will send us a new one? Or if you can get another one and then
Who's
we can
she?
plug that number in there.
No, who was central in the office?
I mean,
I talked to the man you talked to.
Tom Croto, yeah.
So I think if you went through him again, I think you get the same result.
Good. Personal opinion, I think we should have a written contract to have it done every year.
What was our select board expenses that we didn't have money for?
We haven't
All
got
right.
there yet.
All right, so do you want me to call
Pass
Tom?
those fools. They're just-
I'll talk to Tom tomorrow about, Wednesday about a service the service contract and who a salesperson would be up here.
When you get a number,
Uh-huh.
pass it on so. that they can
Absolutely.
get Put into the budget. So,
Yeah. I'll take care of it Wednesday.
okay, so like board expenses. We didn't budget for any, we had $710.
Really?
Can I ask what the 710 was for?
That's, we don't know.
I can tell you.
She was looking it up. Getting ready to rock your.
So one was a credit card expense for $75.
Whoa.
I don't know. From here, I don't know. I can go find out, but.
It wasn't quite enough to get a good buzz on.
And then just
Just
this
wrong.
quick way of
Who the
looking.
heck's got a credit card?
Kathy?
Yeah.
There was a select board class,
Oh, that's,
LCT.
that was
$28.
probably my class when I first came on the select board. It was the training class.
That was in August. There was one in $8,
How much?
28, and then there was one for 120 in June.
I don't know what June is. That's not me.
Which was
Never mind if I spit it.
BLCT again. Classes, says select board classes. So maybe didn't you and Brenda both take a class?
Yeah, I know Brenda took one on,
I've taken a
That
couple.
was in June.
policy, correct, I believe.
I've taken a couple of them.
Yeah.
Okay, not to nitpick, but we have an education fund.
Why aren't we
Yeah.
taking it from there?
And you want that to be in there.
If
Yeah.
it's.
Oh, it
if it's
is
for classes,
education.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. So the
Yeah,
seven,
That's my only comment.
Yeah.
If it's for education, it should come out of that fund.
Okay, so
Especially
I'll double check
considering-
those and move whatever ones
Yeah,
are
we
education.
budgeted $1,000 for education, we have 860.
Well, and see what the 75 on the card, charge card.
And I can look in there. I just can't tell by the warrant what exactly it was.
Okay.
Um,
And I wonder if any of that has to do with like. Well, no, that would all have been something else.
Last year's Christmas party.
We didn't have one.
Do you-
Oh,
We were
that's
going
I
right.
was gonna say, did you have one?
there's one in April.
Lance,
I was gonna
Lance
say,
at the party.
I didn't get there.
This year, we're going to. Place of employment for it instead. That work?
Yes, absolutely.
So are you budgeting?
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
So, and there's also one that Tammy's salary came out of one time when she helped Brenda, I believe, right? Says
Oh, that had to be ARPA or zoning, yeah.
select board secretary.
Ever come out of that fund?
So is
ARPA or zoning.
are you saying it's for like when we give her tasks?
Nope.
like last time we
That's
did
not the
different
right one.
tasks? No, okay,
I'm looking at the wrong warrant.
that's okay.
Are you budgeting?
I'm a mom with no sleep, okay?
We,
I was a mom with no sleep last night because I had cess.
at this point, I don't really know if you were to take the,
County Courier is another one.
okay, so some advertising
So
stuff.
$286 was County Courier.
Yeah,
That's,
Well, that was,
For positions.
yep.
yeah.
yep. Okay, so I
So-
think those, so if we're gonna do that. if
And
we're
our,
gonna
when
take-
we did the bids for the
That would-
equipment out
yeah.
there.
That would fall under,
I think 500 in select board expenses, keeping it as long as we know that any education classes. and
I'll
stuff
take
like
out of the
that is not
education.
education.
And I'll move any that we have coded to that in there.
and they county,
Select board legals, 5,000, spent 0, way to go.
Some years it won't come close to it.
That's good. We'll leave it at 5,000 and not let some of us speak. Social security is preset, correct? That one's also based.
Yeah,
off
it's
of-
a percentage of what our salaries are.
Looks like,
off of that last year.
no, it looks like we better bring it 55 maybe.
Yeah, we should probably go to 55.
well, yeah. When will we find out the set number after we set
Well,
the
when-
salaries?
Yeah, when you set the salaries, I can,
After
that is a
everybody's
certain
paid.
percentage. Yeah, after it's
the end of the
paid,
Oh, that's
really.
true because of the overtime with,
Right?
Yeah,
with
well,
Atkins
there shouldn't
too.
be any overtime in the town. But there will be in the road.
you get the, oh,
Oh, that's under a different
Town
account.
budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, well, the only other thing,
We can,
it would really depend on what we decide to do with, the NEMRIC system for documenting the, records. That's gonna be,
That's gonna come out of the book one.
okay, all right, so 5,500 should definitely cover it. I like it. Streetlights, 2,200. Has it changed much? Do we go to 25?
is this replacement or the power for,
Powerful.
Power.
no, it's going up.
no. I say
What?
keep it.
Keep it?
It's a fixed.
It is? I didn't know, I don't know how.
Straight, I thought you said, expenses are going up, Terry.
The kilowatt hour, but this is a fixed, streetlights are a fixed rate.
Oh, really? They don't, they're not going up too? I mean, they use power too, so,
I don't believe, but
Yeah, they'll put solar panels on top of the poles now.
okay,
So 2,200 can stay. Sorry,
all right.
crossed it
it
out.
still had 106 left.
It's still this month.
Will that be this month's bill? Tax prep,
You're making the same mistake I did, Terry. Starting to slip.
tax prep, didn't budget, didn't spend. I'm confused why that's there.
I don't know what that is either.
What is it?
Tax prep, right under streetlight.
I spent $0. There was 120 in 2021.
We didn't budget anything and we didn't
Then you
spend
didn't spend anything before that, just $120 in 2021.
any. I say we cross that out. I can't see what it would be for.
Maybe Audrey had her granddaughter or someone come in and help.
That might be
Yes,
what it
she
is.
did.
I think that might have been it, actually.
Strike
Yep.
that from the column.
Yep. I
Marie
bet
may
that
have
is.
her baby come in and help.
Yeah.
Telephone budgeted 15, to date 1452. I'm guessing the next bill is gonna be more than $47.
It's in
And
the,
they're
in the
gonna
stack.
continue to go up. Yes.
Yeah, it's in the stack in the warrants.
Is it more than $47?
I don't remember how much it was, to be totally honest.
2000?
We could go to 2,000 and be sufficient.
52. 0.07 divided by 11. Looks like it's about $132 a month, Josh.
So we bump that up to $2,000. We didn't spend. We do have in the other area though, building expenses.
Right.
So I think we could strike that one as town hall repairs and building expenses are redundant. Town park expenses.
I don't know, I think that must have been the park water bill. It's $180.
Yeah,
No, we
park
had
water.
a park
Right,
water
but it's
bill
the
at the
same.
top.
Same amount, so I don't know.
And we
I was
did have-
budgeted, but the actual amount
Town
spent is
park
less than, yeah.
expense.
So if we
We
were to
budgeted-
combine the town park expenses.
I bet
and
you that's the same
net
thing.
Expenses. Which are $250. And we
$180.
spent $113. We changed cemetery expenses to monument expenses.
Yeah.
So if it was to be monument and town park expenses and put a even $500. That covers both of those.
And we've eliminated another line.
We eliminated-
Monument slash town, I mean, town park.
So, yeah, it'll be monument / town park expenses. And we'll bump that up to 500.
Okay.
That'll take care of, if we need stone around the flower bed, if we need another name scribed into the monument, if that those two together are one and the same. The only time that could get expensive is probably if we had tree removal.
Like-
That's just a
Which
set
we're
number.
going to.
That's the part next to me.
So this is the park, next to the park.
What is the park? This town park expenses? Oh,
Okay.
that's different then.
I don't believe they call this the town park, is it?
No,
Ah, you're right.
yeah, better keep them separate.
Okay,
So 250 and 250.
250, 250.
Okay,
Can we call it something else?
Bachman
I
Park.
see town park, I think, green right here. I don't think.
Well, what do they do?
Well,
With- It's the
Nature trail.
Conservation.
conservation.
But I think they gave.
conservation park.
They did.
Let's give it back to them.
Name it the Bachman Park.
Property
It's Bachmans that
deeded.
live there.
Nice.
Pollinator garden. Oh my God.
Or just pollinator park.
Town park number 2.
Like this.
Town park number 2 expense 250.
I think we just.
Why can't we combine the two?
Boundaries of the town park.
Because they're two
Just
different.
redefine it as though.
We own them both.
Why not? It's all part of it.
The town park just got bigger.
Doesn't the cemetery pay for the mowing of this one?
Yes,
Mhm. But not that one.
Who mows the other one?
free.
Send a bill.
The nice neighbor.
Send a bill to the
The
cemetery.
guy doesn't want 3 foot high.
They're
weeds
lucky. They have a nice neighbor.
next to his
Send
house.
them a bill, Mac.
What am I to do?
I have a couple suggestions, but
Uh-huh.
we'll leave it separate, put 250 in each.
Okay.
And call it a day. Unemployment, VTVLC quarterly, set by by,
Town
what do you call it?
Payroll.
Everything's set until you get to website.
Yeah.
So you might as well skip to website.
Oh, what about the property and casualty? We didn't budget anything for that and we come out $22,000 in the hole.
And they're doing quarterly now, right?
That's
Yeah,
being
and I
billed.
think you did,
Yeah.
we get a,
Yes, we got a thing in
Yeah.
here. I think it says it's going quarterly.
yep. I think it had the total, the price, right? I think.
I didn't see a price. I just saw that it was going quarterly.
Was there a bill? Do we have a bill this month?
All I got in here was a thing that said we were gonna get a bill.
Okay,
Right.
there's nothing in the warrants.
Gonna get a bill. and-
So
Okay,
So,
Who's got the warrants?
it's over there.
Joshua, John?
So
Um,
6 grand quarterly and 24,
So
24 grand total.
let me ask you a question here. This property and casualty, that's insurance, and we have insurance above it for 21,296. We didn't use any money out of. So is that really what that is? And we just put it in 2 spots
Yeah.
now?
yeah, it's just like everything.
We just got more granular with the naming of it. We
Mhm.
just had it under the heading insurance.
Oh,
so
so
what
you
you
wanna-
wanna take is you wanna take the insurance,
No,
delete the name and take the VLCT property and casualty.
Make it
And put the
insurance.
line item as the insurance budget.
oh,
number.
so we just strike one.
Right.
Yeah.
Strike one, rename the other.
I remember this.
Do you remember? Did you catch all that?
Yep, I got
So
it.
you're striking insurance line?
So, no, we're just taking the name insurance out. We're taking VLCT property and casualty and moving it up to the insurance.
I was gonna put insurance and then in parentheses, I'm gonna put.
That'll work.
VLCT.
I like it. That means you strike the other one.
So really, we were short about $1,400.
Correct. As Brenda said, it's going up. So if we were to budget $6,000 quarterly, 6 times
24.
four being
So
24,000.
24,000.
Put that up at the insurance number.
It does make that look different.
24,000, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, we're not-
That
we're
work.
definitely no
Yep.
longer in the hole at the
Sure.
bottom.
Mm.
Yeah, just keep going. WC audit.
Workman's comp audit.
Haven't
Workman's
paid,
comp.
haven't budgeted.
What's David, what study thing?
Workers' comp.
Workman's comp.
No. Again, didn't we just talk about?
I think that's only needed if something happens.
The only reason why we have it on there was because I think we did it late last year, so we got penalized for doing it late.
Yep, that's.
And that's what the $632 is from
Probably the
last
same
year.
Tax.
Mhm.
Most were on there is because we had late tax.
Yeah.
So I think we can cross both. of those. Website. 200 budgeted. We didn't spend any. Oh, how are we paying to upkeep the?
Kathy just does it, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think she just logs in.
So it's through, I mean, there has to be a cost for that.
Excuse me, is there a domain name with that, John?
Yes, you'd have a registration as domain name, you'd be paying like a GoDaddy or someone like that.
You think that's part of the office expenses that we up to $6,000 up higher? I bet it is.
It's probably included in that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think we
Yeah.
can strike the website as a specific.
Separate entity.
And John, just so we don't lose that domain, can we get a date on when the renewals are for that?
I could take a look on GoDaddy.
It was part of an organization that lost a domain name and it was awful.
A lot of them, they auto renew by your credit card anymore.
Yeah.
So I'll see, I won't be able to see how it's set up, but I can see when it comes up.
I mean, we took our website. And struck that. Assuming that it's covered under office expenses. Workers' compensation, again, I think that drops in with the VTVLC insurance.
Yeah, I think that,
Budgeted 1,000, we didn't spend any.
yeah, because you estimate what you're gonna spend in workman's comp. And you pay for a certain bracket, and then if you go over, then you have to pay the difference.
Right.
So that's why, so you
Should we
see
leave
it
that?
some years and you see it don't.
So should we leave that there?
Yeah, maybe just in
After that?
case, yeah.
So that's no change. Zoning, 500, spent 424. Is zoning sufficient?
I'd say it shouldn't change.
Okay. Zoning legal, you can keep yourself out of trouble.
That's actually gonna be different. I don't know.
Different or difficult?
You know, I don't know if Michael Gahn has sent us a bill yet. Thank you, Josh. I don't know if Michael Gahn has sent us a bill yet for any of the legal work that he's done with respect to zoning.
Okay.
So
So.
I'd keep that there.
That
Okay,
adds up quick.
do we leave
Yeah,
it
he was
at
here for a couple
1,000 or
nights.
do we need to bump it?
Like I said, I don't know what his bill is, but I would bet bumping
Why
it.
are we getting so many legal?
For those two meetings.
We're-
Yeah, we
We had a legal dispute.
Oh,
or two-
Hathaway's went after us?
No, the adjacent landowner did.
Oh,
No, we just went on after that, we already passed.
But either way, our lawyer had to get involved
he was here for two meetings,
to represent us
Yeah.
on the zoning.
And then.
right?
Those two.
So should we bump that to 2,500?
We haven't used anything out of the town legal or the where are we?
I
Select
thought
board
we were all
legal?
done with him.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's.
No.
zoning
The
board
only
legal.
thing I get worried about is
Oh,
blurring the line between the select board
Yep.
and the zoning. I think the two entities should stay separate on paper.
From an accounting standpoint, absolutely.
So I think I'm gonna say we bump zoning legal up to 2,500 in anticipation of any more. With all the new people we've got coming to town, I'm sure line squabbles are gonna be more frequent.
One of the things that I've discovered in zoning is that there's a lot of gray areas that's in our planning commission, and we're addressing those within the next planning commission rendition.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Zoom.
Yeah, we
Look at John.
still gonna need it, so I would assume, so we need to fund it.
Okay, so.
Last year was 149. I don't know if it's got any big changes. If you take the, 200, you're gonna have change left over, I'm sure.
Okay, so he's recommending $200. You can track all those changes.
I did.
Okay, would you be willing to give us a budgeted 2023 for the next meeting that we can just
Yep.
go over again?
Yep.
Like,
And we're doing salaries a different time too.
we'll do salary separate, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can definitely do that. And then could somebody give me what you guys have for road? That way I can update my, oh, I have it. That's right. I'll create it and then I'll ask you if I like deciphered your writing correctly
My,
in the minutes. Yeah, that's true.
and if you're really looking for something fun, you can just watch our video.
There is always the video.
And the Canadian contract,
Pager contract, you have a number?
yep, 58680.
Okay, did you put that?
586.
586.80.
Yep.
Were you able to find out any of the others that were? So Tammy, any of the others that you found out, rather than doing it now, if you just want to get with Maria, and because I think there was what, 6 or 7 that I asked you to try and track down, with your help. so you'll probably be able to fill in some of those.
Yeah.
The percentage you asked about the truck payments, there were 2 truck payments in that amount.
Okay.
Was this the last for Geddes property? The gravel pit? Did we decide
I'm
that
pretty
was
sure gravel pit's done.
done?
Next
The end
year,
of next year. Wasn't there something?
2023.
Yeah, so this coming. I mean, can I
didn't
give
we
this
just
back to
end
you?
one? Finish one? Thought there was one that we just finished, but
Yes, we asked about getting internet down at the shop.
So, Maria,
Mhm.
just a quick question under the new equipment fund. I know we have warrant,
Yep.
but this amount that's showing the 63, almost 60.
Tammy's in the middle of explaining something.
Oh, I thought she was talking. to
So that
Terry.
would be for 3 years. It wouldn't change for 3 years.
Tammy, can you say that again, just so everybody hears it?
Yeah, so,
Your contract, to give you 25 downloads and 2 uploads.
Okay. I doubt they're gonna
I'm
need,
not gonna hold Comcast.
okay,
Like,
well, I doubt they're gonna, you're not gonna need any more. I mean, the basic internet package is all they're gonna need down there because, I mean, other than checking a couple emails, maybe sending some messages. Yeah.
Update that.
Yep, and being able to, I mean, send messages and stuff like that will be kind of handy for you guys also, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the basic package would work fine for down there.
That's $50
Can't get like an extender for up here,
From up here to down there,
Oh, we'll make sure to publish their email
like something that
address
can
too.
shoot
so
a
that-
signal down there.
yes, that's, what would that be?
I know, we should look
Sure,
into that.
no.
Cause we have it like in our sugar woods for sensors. So like, couldn't we do that for,
what are you trying to do?
Sensors are on their own system and they talk to each other.
right? We still need Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't tap into that system with your phone.
No, but I didn't know if there must be something that you can,
You can use Wi-Fi extenders.
Yeah.
You can, but you've got to have power to power them. So everybody have an extender, you're gonna need an outlet.
well, I meant from here to there.
Yeah, you're gonna need outlets from here to there. The distance, how far is it? About, Mac, couple hundred feet? 1,000?
Yeah.
So average range of one in one direction is like 250 to 500, depending upon the device. Maybe there's something better, but you're talking DSL, so you're not really going to get anything great
I
to
was just
begin with.
wondering.
I just
All
don't
these
know
crazy
for,
now.
for $700 a year, can you not just come up here and use the Wi-Fi here? So,
Mac,
That's just saying.
yeah, on that note, I would ask that you just keep track of how much it's used. Because we probably won't see usage on the bill. But you'll know how much you're using it. Maybe have the guys log in when they're using it and make an evaluation next year. You can break those. Trust me.
And that's with Consolidated?
Yeah.
And who has problems with good lines up here? The copper's so old. That's if they can
Yeah.
find a pair that'll work.
Right.
And is that 3 meg or 7 meg? Do you know? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can't get it's at the box, the green boxes. They can't
Is
get a good set of
landline
lines.
Consolidated?
Should be, yeah.
You should be able to get a better rate then.
You should be able to run across, to Brenda's point, you should be able to run over the current phone line. You just put an adapter in there and a splitter.
Too.
So you should be able to do it. I just don't know why it's $53 for
bundle instead
a
of a
public
free
entity
bundle.
a month. No, that's a month, 53.90 a month, I think. Is what they said. It just seems like it's pretty pricey for a town.
Because when I did, it was only like 20 something.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think
did the phone and internet with them, but now I do it through Comcast, all three.
leaving them, yeah, exactly. I mean, we could look into a thousand foot extender
I was
and
just
see if we
wondering.
can't, well, we could look at it. We need line of sight kind of thing. To a degree, we'd have to put it up on the third floor.
Plus, we aren't a business, we're a municipality, so
Yeah, but there's whole new brick on one side. We'll be okay.
it would have to
I'm
be
pretty sure
tax
the bricks are brick
exempt.
on both sides. Oh,
Right.
wow.
Stop it, you two.
Shit.
So
You had a question, John?
back to my question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So under the new equipment fund, which is just under 64,
Mhm.
does that include the money we just got back from the grants for the hydro seeder? Or is that,
That should have everything in it, up to today,
okay,
except for the one where we taking out that 60,000, that's not taken
Right.
out of there yet.
so it's gonna drop it down to 4K in that.
Right.
Right,
But that'll be.
hopefully reimbursed.
reimbursed through ARPA.
Right, okay.
Okay. Very good. I assume since everybody signed the warrants, there was no more discussion there.
No.
Good. FEMA
They're
loan
pretty
slants and give us the
straightforward.
update on that road.
Oh, no, what was wrong with that truck, Mac? Was that just,
That was bed chain, inspection, hydraulic.
I was gonna say just an inspection.
Chain is something that usually every 5 years or so, it's not a very common thing, but.
Good.
So it didn't break
Think about
down,
it.
it's
It
just
sits and
normal.
marinates in salt.
Not questioning.
Yeah. It dies, it rots, it.
Road erosion inventory.
That's the one you need to sign.
That's the one. Where is that one?
What's that?
That one's in the new mail. No, that's the one that went.
You guys sign if you want.
FEMA loan right here.
It's right here.
I need.
FEMA loan for this coming year's $272,586.03. That is the balance of what we owe for what had happened in the October 31st, 2019 storm. The fixed rate is 4.65%. It will become due in 1 year. This is not a line of credit as the other two have been. This is a loan.
It's
We
just a quarterly
cannot draw down on that.
It's just a one-time payment. Is that what you said?
That's what,
You said that we just pay it at the end of the year. Is that what you said?
we can pay it anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is a
No
monthly,
penalty fee.
No penalties for early payment. So
As we can, we should.
as we can, we should, as we receive payments from FEMA and the state of Vermont, we should make them directly to this. So,
Because that'll save us interest in the long run.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
high interest.
yep,
It's really not, if you're looking at,
No,
not compared to everything else right now. It's awful.
really.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, nobody made a comment about the interest. That's more than double what it was last year.
Yeah, everything is. It's
Yeah.
awful.
well, they're trying to get the inflation under control. We're headed to a recession, so.
Don West
Oh.
signed it. That is you from here down.
You said
Yeah.
272, 58603.
Yeah, you'll have it in a minute.
There's a number of signature lines. There's back of pages, fronts.
And do you want me to take that and send it back to her?
Yes, please. There are 3 places to sign.
I found them all.
Backside of one.
It was fun.
I know, sneaky.
And do we need that notarized or anything?
Kathy needs to sign it tomorrow morning. Maria needs to sign it as well.
Road erosion or inventory.
Should be in the warrants, I believe.
Yeah, it is in there.
Is in with the warrants, okay, so I'll sign that one. I'm the only one left to go. Do the mail.
And we started it out, or we ended up with $1.1 million for a total, little over $1.1 million for a total on that FEMA event.
Wow.
That we received.
No, that's been paid out.
So far, or you're saying total?
It's all been paid out. Everything is paid off.
Here's a thank you letter. We don't get many of those, everybody should read it. From page 12. I have this, and when we do.
Yeah,
we'll go over that.
figured.
Yeah, I just.
Not worried about it.
I read it already.
Age well.
I read it already. Thanks. Not, but thanks.
I hear you.
We have
It's going to you now.
entering some property into conservation easement.
Yeah. Wants to.
Yep. It's not asking us for any signatures, it's just notifying us of the, project and location. Everybody wants to look at that.
You want to make sure Kathy gets it? Yep, I'll be here in the morning anyway.
Yep.
That's right. All this is the one that Lance said we put in here when we were going over policies. This is another policy that Lance would like us to look at some point. Okay. Module social service.
No, that's not one of the ones I
No.
forward. Yeah. I don't know where that came from, Josh.
Yeah.
It does look that way.
It looks like they're asking for money from us.
These people are.
Yeah, when I read it, that's what I thought down in here, that they were looking for some kind of help. But
There are not at
there are no
present.
funds that I know of, right?
Not at present.
Right. That's what I thought too. I don't know who's gonna answer that we don't have funds allocated for that kind of
Yeah,
piece. I would think it would be the homeowner who needs that. Next line under those.
yeah, but he's looking for any town funds to help with the deficit there.
We don't have anything for that.
No, these people. In the name of this person.
We don't have any funds for that. That would have. to be
Right.
something that would be-
But that is,
But he had kind of like 10 investment. So I was like, okay, well, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I just didn't borrow.
I'm not aware.
And then I did.
There's such funds, please contact me. So he's aware that there are none.
He should say, if there are, let him know. Yeah, I was just saying, we should probably reach out and say there are none.
He's fishing. Yeah. You recognize this
Yeah,
from,
yeah.
that's who that is.
I think we just need to answer them and say there's no funds.
At this time, yeah.
Right. So I don't know who answers that, but
Almost feel like that, is that a zoning? No, it's not really zoning.
I don't know. You know, I'm not sure why we would.
Planning commission? Yeah,
I think that should be brought.
and this one is
That's
a model that we can look at.
Bless you.
We already. do
The Zoom
that.
page, bless you, whatever.
It'd just be a
You prefer.
policy like we did with the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we will, I can table that for now since we're budgeting in 9 o'clock.
I'm not even sure why we would, why we would have a fund for that.
Me neither,
That would
honestly.
be, to me, it would be the person applying for it would have to pay whatever fees.
No, why am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm just looking, I'm looking at. Library.
All right, your inventory in here.
Well, I
Handle
was
deal,
just
financial
surprised to
policies,
see that
we're
that
tabling.
close. It's-
Brigham Academy
That's why
update.
It's not that far away.
Sorry?
I have no news, no new
Road
news.
erosion Inventory is in the warrants and it's been signed with the warrant, except for I haven't got it yet. Mail is done.
Nothing.
This is, on further review, they're looking to see if there is any, unallocated monies, for conservation within the town to help move this along. This time, I don't believe there is any. I'll let you read that project. Financial policies are the ones that Lance was going over. We're not tackling those today. We will table those.
Okay, I have them in my packet. And when the select board is ready to review them, they're there.
After the finance, after.
Yeah,
our budget
absolutely.
is created.
Absolutely.
Okay, Brigham Academy update.
I have no new news at this point.
I like it. Any others on board business?
I just wanted to mention. Just wanted to mention that I am reviewing possible grant work with Alex Barkley tomorrow at 2:00. Anybody that wants to come in can, I'll be here.
What's it for?
Grants,
Oh, for grants.
grant and grant writing.
They are willing to help, right?
We haven't negotiated anything, yet, so we're starting from scratch. The potential, yes, thanks.
John?
I'm good.
No,
So
no.
this.
Is your mic on? Mic's not on.
You wanted me to check on this, if VLCT you would cover us at the town gymnasium,
Correct.
and they will, as long as there's a contract. The coverage will carry.
Oh,
So we still have to,
oh, for town meeting day.
yeah,
Okay, I'm with you now.
we would,
Picture.
well, I didn't check
Get the
with the
grant.
town about paying, but if we have a contract, we'll be covered insurance wise.
So that's what we would have to tell the schools.
We already have insurance.
Pay because we have to carry insurance.
Okay.
So if you want to,
We're also not willing to pay because our tax rate is quite high for the school.
correct. So,
So you want me to see if we can get the fee waived?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
it's not really if, it's,
So the second thing was,
Bakersfield, Josh,
to partial, yep.
partially.
I don't think it's completely, but mostly.
It's on the county road or something? Or is it by the old over?
There's a map.
If you're looking at the second to last page,
oh,
on the last page.
and the second thing is, yes, the select board can put an article on the 2023 town meeting warning that if approved, would make all budget votes by Australian ballot until rescinded by voters.
So we can vote to go Australian ballot
Nice.
from this point forward, if we put it on the ballot
This
this
year.
year to do so.
Yep.
Okay.
They can vote
On the,
for or
on the
against it.
floor or on the ballot?
On the ballot,
Clarification.
can put an article on the 2023 town meeting warning, which would be the ballot, right?
No,
That would
no,
be shall the
warrant.
town,
No, I,
town by Australian ballot vote.
Yeah,
I'd put it on the,
so it would
I'd
have
put
to
it on
be,
the
it would be a line item in the book.
but it has to be on the
It
floor.
would be voted from the floor this year.
Voted from the
Not
floor.
voted From
Right.
Australian ballot.
Right.
We did
Okay.
not vote to go Australian ballot.
Right.
Because the state. said
Right,
we couldn't
okay.
Do that this year. We can vote from the floor this year to go Australian ballot,
If we wish to.
if well, yes, which we've had multiple requests to go Australian ballot. because I think that
Are you
gets lost.
sure we can't put that on the thing?
They voted it down every time.
It's very true.
I almost think you can put this on the ballot, whether or not we want to go Australian ballot. Kathy will know more.
I was gonna say, I didn't think we could have.
We haven't in the past. We've done it from the floor.
I don't think. I
Well, we
didn't
voted the
have
budget in from the floor.
No, we voted the
everything.
Australian ballot from the floor too,
Okay.
I didn't
because it didn't pass,
think we voted
even though people were complaining that they wanted it and then they didn't pass it.
Got it.
Any others?
no.
Do it.
Because the ones that wanted.
I'd like to make a motion
Right.
to adjourn the meeting,
There you go.
Mr. Chairman.
I'll second that.
Motion's
Mr.
been
Chairman.
made
Whoops,
by
who did that?
John.
Who did that?
I was saying that and you kept up. Motion has been made by John,
John.
seconded by Lance to adjourn at 9:08. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a good night.
Wow. I didn't even hear a vote.